Good afternoon and welcome, class of 2014. Would you please rise? I know. It's my pleasure to introduce Hugh Vincent Dyer, Director of Campus Ministry and Catholic Chaplain, to give the invocation.
Bow your heads and pray for God's blessing. Almighty and merciful God, bless these your sons and daughters as they undertake a new phase of life's journey. Give them a sense of wonder as they seek the truth. Give them hearts of gratitude for all whose sacrifices make these days possible. Give them vision to imagine the possibilities of good for their communities. May they receive now renewed energy to master the disciplines of life that bring freedom. Give them generous hearts so that they may always give life and hope to others. When they fall, Lord, raise them quickly with the gifts of humility and greater zeal. We ask these blessings in your holy name. Amen.
You may be seated. I'm Mark Thompson, Senior Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs, and I'm joined on the platform today by members of the President's Cabinet, deans, department chairs, and other administrators. We all look forward to working with you and supporting you. It's my pleasure to introduce Joan Isaac Moore, Vice President and Dean of Admissions, to present the class of 2014.
Greetings. On behalf of the Admissions Office, I'm happy to welcome the class of 2014 to Quinnipiac University. It's been a pleasure meeting you in interviews, at your high schools, at open houses, and during orientation weekends. Today is a milestone in your lives. You're gathered here on the quad, and we'll gather again in 1,360 days, hopefully, at your graduation. The time will go quickly, and I encourage you to realize the investment that the university, you, and your families are making in your future, and take advantage of the range of opportunities that are here for you. I imagine that this is also a stressful time for many of you. Change is stressful. But through the work of the student life staff, and especially your orientation leaders and your RAs, the resident assistants, you're starting to feel at home. If you have questions or concerns in the coming days, please talk with these folks. They are here to help. But you can relax until Monday, get to know your classmates, and prepare for an exciting beginning to your Quinnipiac years. This year in admissions, we received more than 14,000 applications from high school seniors, and we congratulate you on being selected to be part of this class. Let me tell you a little bit about yourselves. First, you are our largest entering class at 1,667 freshmen. 78% of you come from states outside of Connecticut, from 25 states and 10 countries. 16% have self-identified as students of color. You've come from over 800 high schools, from Connecticut to California and from Maine to Florida. On average, you ranked in the top quarter of your class in high school with 1110 on your critical reading and math SAT. You have lots of time to get to know each other, and just so you know, there are 580 men and 1,087 women in the class. But I'll make it easy for you. Will you raise your hand if your name is Lauren, Samantha, Danielle, Emily, Jessica, Nicole, or Amanda? That's 20% of the women. And will you raise your hand if your name is Michael, Matthew, Christopher, or Joseph? That's 20% of the men. As for majors, 18% of you have entered the School of Communications, 19% the School of Business, 30% the College of Arts and Sciences, and 34% the School of Health Sciences. Although each of you is enrolled in a particular school or college, 1/4 of you have not yet chosen a particular major. But you'll have time to decide as you begin your coursework in the university curriculum and learn more about each school. And 1/3 of you will be staying at Quinnipiac through your graduate degree, either in programs such as physical therapy, physician assistant, and occupational therapy, or in the 5-year MBA or MAT programs in business and teaching. Now, when I call your state, I'd like you to stand and remain standing until all the states have been called. First, we would like to welcome our international students, plus American students from overseas, along with students from California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, and Washington State. We welcome students from Pennsylvania, Maryland, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Rhode Island. We welcome students from New Jersey, Massachusetts, New York, and Connecticut. Mr. President, deans, and members of the faculty and administration, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2014 to you, 1,667 in number. May we each benefit from our time together. You may be seated.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. John Leahy, President of Quinnipiac University, to welcome you as the newest members of the Quinnipiac community.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to welcome all the members of the 2014 class. You're among the very best students that we've ever attracted to Quinnipiac University, and I have no doubt that you will do exceptionally well during your years here at the university. During those years, you'll hear a great deal about, and very often hear about, the 3 values that guide this university. They were the 3 values upon which this university was founded back in 1929, and they continue to guide all of our activities, and we hope, as you become the new members of the community, they'll guide your activities as well. These 3 values are a commitment to high-quality academic programs, a student-oriented environment, and a strong sense of community on the campus here. Those 3 values will provide enormous benefits to you while you're students here. But each of those values also requires responsibilities on the part that you have and the obligations you have to everyone in this community. Our commitment to high-quality academic programs means the benefit is that you will have truly exceptional faculty teaching in all of your majors and all of your courses here at the university. You'll have the very best equipment and laboratories and facilities to make sure that you get a great education. Your responsibility, though, is that you need to take your study seriously. Make sure that's your highest priority. And I mean beginning with your first class at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. I can't tell you how much it saddens me that a group of students like yourselves comes in here very capable, very able, and yet some of you don't live up to our expectations and indeed your expectations, and you dig a hole for yourself that first month or the first semester, and you have to help yourself dig out of that hole for the subsequent semesters and years. You have all the abilities to do exceptionally well, but you need to make sure you place your studies as the most important priority. Secondly, our student-oriented environment. In addition to the outstanding and quality education you receive in the classroom, there are enormous services that are out here to help you and provide for you the support that you need during your years at the university. It's important, though, that when you do need help, whether it's learning help from our learning center or our librarians or in our health services or counseling, whatever the needs that you might have during your years here, you have to avail yourself of those services. And don't be afraid to do so. College is a challenging period. 4 years is a long time. You'll have your ups and downs, your good days and not so good days. You'll have your challenges, but please make sure you take advantage of all the things that are here at the university to make sure that those areas are covered, and again, that you can truly excel in your studies. And then finally, our sense of community here. We think of it as maybe the most important value that we have. The benefit is that you will be welcomed into this community, a very supportive community. And we value not only community, but a diverse community. Quinnipiac is increasingly trying to become a more diverse community. And we value differences. And whether those differences are ethnic or racial or religious or gender or sexual orientation or whatever the differences are amongst the students and the community here, we value those differences and we celebrate them. That will be a benefit to you, all of you. You're all individuals. You all have different personalities and different backgrounds that you come from. You can be assured that this community will respect and value and reinforce your individuality and your uniqueness. But the obligation and responsibilities that you must do the same for all other members of this community. We don't tolerate hate speech or hate activities of any kind. As I said, we not only value diversity of all kinds, but we celebrate diversity. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you treat each and every one of your fellow students and each and every member of this community the way you would like to be treated. Again, I think it's an outstanding class. Joan Moore said it's the biggest class, and I believe it's also the very best class that we've ever accepted here and enrolled here at Quinnipiac University. You're to be congratulated for that. As Joan also said, enjoy the weekend, and then the real classes start on Monday. It's a pleasure for me to welcome all of you, and I look forward to getting to know all of you in the months and years ahead. Congratulations and best wishes.
I'm pleased to introduce Louis Venturelli, President of the Student Government Association, to give the Student Government Association address.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thompson and the Platform Party. And hello, class of 2014. Congratulations on your acceptance to Quinnipiac. You have taken a tremendous step towards a brighter future. As you flip through the first few pages of this significant chapter in your life, remember that you are embarking on a journey. You will be given the opportunity to create experiences that will shape your very own story. Your setting is Quinnipiac, and your future is to be determined. As previously introduced, my name is Louis Venturelli, but you can just call me Lou. I would like to take a few seconds to share my story with you. I'm a political science major with aspirations of a career in student affairs and higher education. This may sound funny, but even as a senior, I'm currently where you were not too long ago. Except I'm on the graduate school search, and I'll need to take the GREs, which are almost as dreadful as the SATs. As a freshman, I lived what was known as a typical college lifestyle. I went to class, did my homework, and socialized with my friends. Does this lifestyle sound exciting to you? Well, to me, it was as if I were back in high school with even more free time on my hands. My story wasn't anything spectacular. Towards the end of my freshman year, I realized that I didn't want to just live a typical college lifestyle, but a lifestyle that would challenge me to grow as a leader. I joined a fraternity and was exposed to the principles of our Greek life system, academics, community, and leadership. I ran for a seat on the student government and served as a sophomore class representative, and today I stand before you as the twice-elected student body president. Some might say that this isn't your typical college life story, and although it may not be typical, I'm here to tell you that it certainly is possible. As a college freshman in an unfamiliar environment, you have new responsibilities to yourself and to each other. For yourself, you must strive to achieve an excellence in academics. However, your education does not just include studying and making the grade. For it was Martin Luther King Jr. who said, "Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of a true education." I couldn't agree more. For each other, you must remember that respect and acceptance is essential to a community that fosters friendship, diversity, and inclusion as its guiding principles. Look around you. Take a second to turn your head to the left and then turn your head to the right. Among you are future teachers of America, scientists that will find cures for cancer, heart disease, and AIDS. You're sitting with the next student body president and perhaps the future president of the United States. You're sitting with future journalists and authors, executive directors and movie producers, future physical therapists, occupational therapists, and athletic trainers. Some of you will play instrumental roles in Fortune 500 companies and our growing cities and towns. The possibilities that are before all of you are truly endless. And no matter what field you're in, remember to embrace the entrepreneurial spirit. This includes maintaining a vision to succeed, a vision to grow, and a vision to change the world around you. Wherever you end up, give everything your best. Don't ever take no for an answer, and don't ever stop believing in your abilities. As we all know, there are 24 hours in a day. For some of us, 8 of those hours are spent sleeping, another 8 of those hours are spent going to class, working, and completing assignments. Another 3 of those hours are reserved for meals and socializing with our friends. This leaves just 5 hours in a day for us to do something extraordinary with our time. No, Facebook is not extraordinary, and neither is checking our updates on Twitter. Rather, use that time to help your roommate study. Use that time to program a community event. Use that time to organize a service project in a third world country or for our very own campus. Dream big and give everything your best. Life is a gift, so use your spare time to achieve something for the greater good. As you orient yourself with this university, you'll learn names such as Samuel Tater, Murray Lender, Clarice Buckman, Judge Philip Troop, and Carl Hansen. These individuals are a mere few to name and credit for the success of our institution. They all have left a substantial impact on this university, not only because they loved it, but because they had a belief, and with that belief came a vision. They took opportunities that were presented to them, overcame obstacles, and left their mark on something greater than themselves. As a senior at Quinnipiac, I've had the privilege to serve the Bobcat community in many different capacities. I often attribute my love for this university to the leadership opportunities that I have been afforded throughout my 4 years. If I had only one bit of advice for you, class of 2014, it would be to think big, aim high, and view your next 4 years at Quinnipiac as an opportunity to shape the success of your future. I challenge you to take this opportunity to keep on top of your studies and excel within your field. Take this opportunity to join an organization or an intramural team that keeps you involved on campus. Take this opportunity to figure out what interests you in life. Take this opportunity to meet people who are different than you. Take this opportunity to make your experience at Quinnipiac the best experience of your life. My friends, before you pick up your pen to begin your first chapter, think of what you want the end of your story to look like. And remember, those who often take the greatest chances are often the ones who always succeed. Live the legend, and God bless. Thank you. I'm not finished yet. In preparation for your successful journey that lies ahead, let us recite the Quinnipiac Student Creed to remind us how we will strengthen as a community. Your legend begins here. I now ask you in joining me in reciting our Student Creed titled Live the Legend, located on the back of your program. And repeat after me. I choose to be a member of the Quinnipiac University community. I strive for integrity, responsibility, and academic excellence. I value all members of this diverse community. I embrace the inclusion of all people. I preserve Quinnipiac traditions of pride and spirit. Together, we are the architects of our future. We are the legend. Thank you. That was nice. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you three individuals that have been very instrumental in the facilitation of our orientation program. These three seniors have spent countless hours ensuring a seamless and beneficial program to introduce you to the Quinnipiac community. Without further ado, I would like to call up Alex Barzak, Brittany House, and Katie Regan to recite for the last time this summer the legend of the Bobcat.
Thanks, guys. The legend of the Bobcat. The Indian spirit Hobbamock was doomed to eternal sleep when a spell was cast over him, but his ferocious companion, a stealthy giant bobcat with vibrant blue and fiery gold eyes, was spared such a fate.
Hobbamock now sleeps soundly belly up, forming the peaks of the sleeping giant mountain. Today, the confident and devoted bobcat loyally defends its now sleeping giant and all that falls in its shadow.
From time to time, the bobcat can be spotted around campus watching over our school. Legend says that the bobcat will allow no harm to come to those swift and brave enough to rub its paw.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Kimberly Hartmann, Chair and Associate Professor of Occupational Therapy, to give the faculty address.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Hi. That's all you've got this afternoon? Hi. All right, thank you. Welcome to each of you to Quinnipiac University as the class of 2014. To President Leahy, faculty, administration, all the members of student affairs, and the outstanding orientation leaders of Quinnipiac University. I thank you for the privilege and the honor to address what I know will be the prestigious class of 2014. Teaching is both a privilege and a promise to work in collaboration with each of you so your learning becomes a shared partnership. A symbol of this shared partnership is the traditional black gown you are all wearing today. This gown symbolizes our connection to each other in education and also symbolizes your commencement into the journey of university life. I do realize that I am one of the obstacles between you and your picnic, and I also realize that perhaps many of you would prefer to be somewhere else right now other than sitting in the sun wearing a black gown. Therefore, my remarks will be fairly short. Not short, but fairly short. And we'll focus on two goals I have for your educational journey: to learn and to lead. I'd like to tell you a story about similarities and differences, and how the similarities are also apparent and our differences are really minimal. This is an educational story of Ashley. Last year, Ashley graduated high school at age 23. Ashley has a very high IQ and probably has higher SATs than, do I dare say, many of us on the quadrangle today. She also earned several awards for outstanding leadership and completed all the typical college prep courses. However, for Ashley, a typical essay in high school that may have taken you 1 hour to write took Ashley 3 hours. A few end-of-the-chapter earth science questions that may have taken you 30 minutes to complete would take Ashley 2 hours. Therefore, for Ashley, high school graduation was delayed by 5 years. So why the delay? I hope you're asking. Ashley has a rare form of spinal muscular atrophy, and she is totally paralyzed from her chin to her toes. The only voluntary movements that Ashley has in her entire body are across her forehead and around her eyes. She didn't walk, doesn't speak with her voice, nor move her arms to hug her friends and family. But Ashley's eyes and those eye movements were so expressive that her family could tell what TV show she wanted to watch, who she wanted to have play with her, and when she was in pain. Ashley and her parents had one goal for Ashley's education, both in high school and in college, something we all take for granted, and that is communication. For them, it meant that Ashley could share her feelings through communication, share her humor, and share her knowledge with the world. Communication would thus become her path for life of dignity and delight. So Ashley had an educational goal. She also had an educational team who worked with her tirelessly to launch her on her journey to communicate. I was lucky enough to be her occupational therapist. She also had a computer programmer. Are you out there, computer programmers? She had a physical therapist, teachers, a writing tutor, an electrical engineer, a muscle biology specialist. She had a CEO of a prominent computer company. She had numerous nurses, and she had an Army specialist who taught us all how to communicate through Morse code. Therefore, her educational team may be representative of the many programs that all of you will participate in here at Quinnipiac University. Her educational team worked with Ashley for 4 years, 17 software programs, and over 200 hours of therapy. And Ashley learned to raise her eyebrows once to trigger an electric switch that made her computer say yes. 2 eyebrow movements triggered the switch, which converted in the computer software program to speak out loud and say no. Ashley learned consecutive eye blinks and forehead movements to create Morse code, which allowed her to communicate her very first sentence, which she directed towards her brother. And she said, "Get out of my room." Ashley blinked her eyes, twitched her eyebrows, sent those messages to the computer, and converted those signals into words. And thus she wrote answers to science questions, essays, and some of the most beautiful poems I have ever read in my life. And she was well on her way to using her gifts to make a difference and to learn. Ashley led all of us as her team with courage as she learned new and innovative ways to meet her educational goal. At age 23, at her high school commencement, Ashley wore a black gown, as you all do today. She processed in her wheelchair, and she commenced toward her college of choice. And unfortunately, Joan and President Leahy, that was Trinity College. Ashley gave the commencement address to her high school that she wrote with her heart and typed with eye blinks alone and spoke through her computer's digital voice. She was not the class president, nor a club officer, but was given an award by her town for inspirational leadership. And the inscription on the plaque read, "To Ashley, an inspiring leader, because she lived with a purpose, lived in the present, and lived for the future, and exemplified the meaning of leadership because she used her gifts to inspire a vision, to challenge the process, to seize opportunities, to enable others to act with her, and because she lived by example to encourage the heart." I am a better person because of Ashley. And today I challenge each of you to follow Ashley's path and discover your own personal gifts. And join with your educational team at Quinnipiac University of faculty, administrators, student services, and set your goals to learn and lead. So the first challenge I have for all of you, your goal is to learn. Be in the present and focus on right now, participating in your education. Reflect and learn from the past and how you can take that learning to shape the present. And recognize that you are the future of the United States and perhaps other entities beyond our borders. I challenge you to learn by achieving the essential learning proficiencies for the 21st century that are inherent in a Quinnipiac University education. Just like Ashley's, one of these key proficiencies is communication. And the others include citizenship, diversity awareness, collaboration, critical thinking, scientific, quantitative, and informational literacy. Achieving these proficiencies will prepare you for lifelong learning and to develop innovative and creative ideas and approaches to the future. It's a big challenge. Secondly, I challenge you to lead. I believe that there are leadership opportunities at this university and in every avenue of life for everyone to take a leadership role. So I believe you can and will lead. Develop your leadership imperatives. Enable others to work together. Envision the future. Challenge yourself and create opportunities, and always encourage your heart. Do embrace the story of Ashley throughout your Quinnipiac journey, and remember, it is good to have an end to journey toward, but it is the journey that will matter in the end. Have a wonderful first year at Quinnipiac University, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hartmann. Would you please stand for the benediction, which will be delivered by University Rabbi Rena Judd. Following the benediction, please remain standing until the platform party has recessed. Then following the ceremony, you're all invited to a picnic in the area right behind you.
It is my prayer that during the days of this upcoming year, you learn that which you did not know, meeting people you might never have met if not for being here, exploring issues, unearthing solutions, and acquiring fresh insight. I pray that with the knowledge you gain, you will become better, kinder, more merciful global citizens. Not 4 years from now when you graduate, but here, now, and tomorrow, for the community we are all building together. I pray to the source of all holiness that the journey you are hereby beginning will be safe and healthy, bursting with awe, knowledge, and wisdom, that it will be exciting. Go into the good, knowing we are here behind you to support you and to help you. It is the prayer of all of us here for you that this upcoming adventure is indeed a sacred journey. Go with God's blessings.